Hello everyone, Scott here. Hey, we want to start a series of a would we buy this camper series, and we're going to start a lot of different series with involving campers and inspections, and soon we'll have an inspection video, a course that you can buy to thoroughly inspect your camper before you purchase it. And we see so many different people, whether it's friends. We've had several friends and customers that have bought a camper and then soon realized that they have to do thousands of dollars in repairs. And so we got this 2012 Outback by Keystone Camper today, and we want to do a would we purchase this video, or a would we buy it, or just a kind of a rough inspection. We're not going to go through a detailed inspection. We'll have a course that comes out with that, and but we're just going to walk through and look at a couple things. This camper, normally I would see a camper priced in this condition around $10,000, and I believe the owner of this camper he told me he would give it to us for about $5,000. And so I just want to do a quick walk around, quick walkthrough, and see what we see just off of the rip. I'm not testing ACs. I'm not testing like I normally would, really testing any of the systems out on the camper today. But I want to walk through and just give a rough, brief walkthrough of it, and then we'll come back and kind of inspect a couple things and talk about it. All right, guys, so we are inside of the camper. I believe this camper is about 32 foot long. You kind of seen the layout of it, and kind of just walked around it and seen some things. And at a glance, you may not see much, but as we start digging into this, before we ever got in the camper, and the owner told us of some perks or some good things about the camper, right? And he told us kind of what he paid for it, and told us kind of what he done to it. So the refrigerator, it's a brand new refrigerator in it, and which a refrigerator going in a camper is usually for this size about $800. But he took the refrigerator out and put a residential size refrigerator in, which I would recommend if you're not doing a lot of traveling up and down the road, if your refrigerator goes out. He also put a newer AC unit. I'm not sure exactly when it was replaced. I think within the last year. And so that's a big perk. That's a big perk, the refrigerator and the AC. You see that in a listing and you think, man, I like that. I want to have that. And so, you know, before we ever got in the camper, you can see of kind of how this camper is stored. It's out in the middle of the woods, covered in trees. The slide out has some leaves on it, or it's not been really stored well. And so those are some key indicators of how someone's taking care of a camper. But as we walk through the camper here, hopefully the lighting is where you can see it. If not, we'll try to brighten it up there in the video. And you know, nothing out of the ordinary back here. I can kind of tell just by looking at different trim pieces in it and different things that the owner has done something to the camper. If you can see the trim up and down the walls there, whether he's built that out or whether he just touched it up in paint or whatever he has. And now as we get to looking and some indicators here, this might be kind of hard to see. And we got the dog in here. If we look at this trim right here, and I didn't notice this before when I walked through it, but now I'm noticing it now. If we look at this trim, we're starting to notice some peeling and delamination across this trim, which being an old camper might not be a big deal, but what that tells me is there's some kind of moisture that's been in here and some type of leak. And yep, as I open this door right here, and look back in the if you can get back there in the closet and see the runs that are taking place there, what you're seeing as far as that runs is rust running down a wood wall. And how you're going to get that is either screws or staples that are getting water damaged in them. And honestly, I've been in this camper several times and haven't noticed that. This is something that I just noticed there. And I'm willing to bet if I pushed on that wall, it would probably be a little soft, but I'm not going to do that. Show you some other things as we walk around that. So that's a key factor right there, and of how it's just been taken care of and stored, and how something's been taken care of. You really want to take a picture to. And again, this camper, I see this exact camper and this condition of a camper being sold all day long at around $8,000 to $10,000. All right, and so let's keep walking through the camper here and just maybe looking at a couple things. Samson, go. And stuff I haven't been all throughout this camper, but I just wanted to kind of take a look here and see. Yeah, he's done something there. I'm not sure what that is, but he's tucked up some paint there for some reason. Let's open the shower here and just get a quick view of the shower. And again, we're going to have some detailed videos of everything I'm looking at. But with all these skylights and everything, you really want to be looking to see if they're rusted, because if they're rusted, that means they're leaking water. And if those there look fine. Maybe just some moisture up here that's gotten in the walls from, you know, taking a shower. And so that doesn't look too bad actually at all there. What is this? This is a little closet here. Oh, this is the bathroom toilet. All right, let's look up here. Same thing with here, looking up here, seeing if we, I mean, it's just dry rotted a little bit from where it's old, but nothing's seems to be. I tell you, one of the biggest things that we see in a camper is water damage. The reason I'm pointing out all this stuff is because that is the biggest thing. You can replace refrigerators, you can replace a lot of components in it, but when it comes to water damage, now water damage can be fixed, but an extensive amount of water damage can get very, very, very expensive and add up very quick. All right, Samson, go out. All right, so here we have again a brand new refrigerator, which again I like having the residential style refrigerator in a camper. If we're replacing the refrigerator, and because they're a lot cheaper and usually a lot better, won't say better quality, but usually a lot cheaper to replace. All right, so some things I noticed: the skylights that are on both sides of them are both open, and which I'm not sure. There's some metal flakes. It's kind of weird. Metal flakes on the ground over here from the skylight. I'm not really sure where that's coming from there. And but just looking, one of the main things you want to inspect when looking at a camper is the slide out and the slide out floors. I'm not going to extend this all the way out, but I do just kind of want to look at the floor a little bit while it's in. Usually if we're inspecting the camper or charging to inspecting the camper, or if you're going to go out to inspect the camper, you definitely want to move all the slide outs out. And again, we have a list and have a course on how to inspect the camper there. But something that I did notice when I first walked in the door, and I want to show you, if we come back this way just a little bit here. Go out, pup. Now you may not have noticed it beforehand, but the first thing that I noticed right when I walked in the door, and I don't know if it's coming up good on the camera, but there is a lump right there in the floor. And if you see right there, let me put my hand on it here. Right here, it takes a dip really bad and the floor is lumped up. And what I know is that the floor is soft there and there's some water damage. Now, if we take a look over here at this trim, this corner round, this does not come in campers. There's quarter round all the way over here. And as we actually look at this right here, this is delaminated as well. So that means there's been some water damage in this floor. Now, whether it's coming from the sink or somewhere else, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's coming from underneath there. But also, something else over here. Cam, if you can. I'm not sure. You might want to be up here in the camera, but yeah.
Just stay out.
But look at this right here. All right, this is the floor to the slide out. Well, guess what happened? The floor is disconnected from the wall. And as we touch that, that's soft. That's got a lot of damage in that right there. The floor, let's look at this right here. It's completely come off. A lot of damage on that. And so whether it's actually it is the floor and the wall that is damaged. If you look back there, yeah, you can see that how the floor is rippled. And it looks like the owner may have tried to cover up a little bit, or, you know, a lot of people, I won't say that everybody is trying to cover up water damage, or I won't say that everybody is trying to cover up a bad camper. And, you know, a lot of people are very ignorant to what a camper is, how they operate, their systems, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And most of the time we find just people are ignorant. They'll tell you, hey, look, my camper doesn't leak water. We've never had a problem with that before, and we've never had any issues. But you get there and there's a lot of water damage. Or you buy it and you take it home and the wall falls out, or the floor falls out of the slide. And sometimes people are ignorant, but there is actually a local shop to us here that I've done work for in the past. And right after I started doing some work for them, not working for them, but doing some work for them on campers, if that makes any sense, they started asking me to cover up water damage. And to replace not even wall panels, just take some pieces and cover up, not fix the leak, just cover up what is damaged inside the wall so people wouldn't see it. And I confronted them about it. They asked me 3 times to do it, and I told them no every single time. I confronted them, told them how crooked they was, and told them I wasn't doing any more work for them. And that's local in where we live at here in Georgia. And so we've seen that. Now, when we do... Oh, I thought you turned it off.
No, I was just turning the screen back on, sorry.
When we're doing RV inspections, our goal is really to give you an idea of what you're walking into before you buy the camper. Everything that we see, whether we're finding bad stuff, whether we're finding good stuff and the stuff comes out perfect, we're not just saying, hey, look, we found something bad, so it's an off deal. It just depends on what your budget is. It depends on how much work you want to do. If you want to find one and fix it up, or you want to find one, all of this stuff that we found so far is somewhat repairable. The biggest thing would be not the floor and the slide out, because that's easier, but the floor in the main part of the camper here, that's a big issue for me, because that really has to take a lot of work to do that. And so just to give you an idea, the floor in the slide out, that is rotten. So it's going to have to be the floor that is replaced, and it's going to have to be the slide out wall that's going to have to be replaced. And I guarantee you, if we move this slide out, then more of the floor is rotten underneath the slide out. But let's say just to do this slide out floor, I want to say it's about 12 foot long, maybe 14 foot long as far as the slide out floor. Just to do the slide out floor, if I was going to charge someone as a technician to do this, it would be around $3,000 or $4,000 just for the floor, because the slide out has to be hyper extended outside of the camper. And then to compare it to the walls and all that, it just depends on how much you get into there, and once you get in there, to figure out what all needs to be done. All right, again, this is just a quick little short video. This is not a detailed video of a camper inspection, but as we just walk, I just want to look around the outside. And one of the big things is the tires aging on them. If it's been sitting a while and you plan on pulling it anywhere, then you probably have to put a set of tires on this one, because I know this one's been sitting a while. If we look up here at our awning going across, we can see, I don't know if you can see it, Kim, or not, up here on the other side, the awning's coming apart. And so that awning's going to have to be replaced. Again, not something that's a deal breaker. And again, it just depends on how much you're getting the camper for and what you want to do with the camper. To put an awning on this particular camper, if I was to charge someone, would be around $500, $500 or $600 or so, and that's with the fabric that's installed and everything, and usually a trip charge with that too. And so let's walk around the outside of the camper. Of course, you can see where it's been stored at. Not a very good place. And this side, outside, as far as we're looking at the walls, and one big thing is delamination in the walls. If we have delamination, which these walls are solid over here, look pretty good, other than just being faded, we're sitting outside. But delamination is a big thing as well, and maybe we can overlay some clips of a camper that's got some delamination in it. All right, guys, so as we can see, we're up here at the nose cap of this, and I hope you can see that. Kim, can you see that up there, of how it is very deformed? And I actually didn't notice this when I walked around it the first time, but it is pretty deformed. And what that tells me there is water damage underneath that. Oh yeah, 100%. As with that, shouldn't be, that's fiberglass, and that should not be soft like that. And remember where I was telling you that there was water up there in the front of the closet? That's probably going to be it right there. Look at there.
It looks like they tried to tape it up or something.
Yeah, and there's some more tape over here on this other side. There is some duct tape up here. I'm not really sure. Maybe they had something over the light because the light was leaking. Or maybe a tarp over the whole thing. I'm not sure. Probably would have been the best. Hey, a big thing on these is roof inspections. And so I'm not going to climb up on the roof. There's no need. I would already say no. This is a no, just by the way it's. Even if I got this thing for just a couple $1,000s, I would be buying this thing for surely the parts inside of it. And so a big thing is roof inspections. And again, get our course on how to fully inspect a camper if you plan on buying one. But it's just kind of just a fun video of would we purchase this video. All right, I noticed this before, and this is one of the last things I'll show you. Look at this wall. I'm not sure exactly what happened with all this. This looks terrible. Like I have no idea. I mean, there's clearly a lot of water damage inside of this wall here, and the delamination is when it starts peeling apart and it starts getting wrinkly. But this is beyond that, and they even have a lot of goofy caulk. They got wood screws in it up there and wood screws in it down here. I don't know, still holes in it there. And
it goes right up the seam of the window.
Right up the seam, yeah, I don't know. So another big thing is what we find in campers is people try to do handyman type stuff on it, but there is very specific materials, caulk, just all kind of different materials. The plumbing stuff's not the same as household stuff. The caulk around the windows and the roof is not the same. You cannot go buy household caulk and put it on the roof of these things around the windows. It's not going to hold up and work. And so, yeah, if we I think we already have some video overlaid, but if you look at the roof of this thing here, just the way that they brought it in and left it here, it's bad. It's not good.
That's probably why that floor's damaged.
Maybe so, maybe so. You gotta have you a camper dog as well. He does not come with the camper. All right, so here you see it once again. This is a 2012 Outback Keystone. I believe it's a 32 footer, somewhere in there, somewhere 32 foot. And we've kind of done a quick walk around. I promise you, I see this condition camper all the time around $8,000 to $10,000. And because of the price point on it, people think it's good, and they hear, oh, new AC, new refrigerator, man, it's good to go. And without doing a real inspection on it. Just a fun video of would you buy it? And I would like to hear, would you buy this camper? And again, a lot of this stuff can be repaired. A lot of it, you can go in and fix stuff. You can fix the floors, you can fix different things. We want to make things known to you before you purchase a camper of what you're getting into before you purchase it, all right? And so when we do our course on our inspection course, it's to make you aware, for you to make the decision, hey, this is something I want to spend money on, or maybe I can get it off of the price that they're asking price, or maybe it's a jam up camper. And so the Outback here, for me, I don't know about for Kim, but for me, I would say absolutely not. If I bought this thing or made an offer on it, it would clearly be for the AC, the furnace, and the refrigerator, taking the parts out and scrapping the rest of the thing, just the appliances that are in there really, and just scrapping the rest of this thing. So awesome. We appreciate you watching the video. Like, subscribe, all those nice things, and we'll see you on the next one.